behind. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky.
And now, race fans, here live on PTM Racing TV, we present to you the SRM Truck Series of Misfitz iRacing League, presented by Speedmasters, here at Sonoma, California, Sonoma Raceway. I got one. I am the Crusader Christian Trier done you guys here today. We are set to go for the action, set to go for a long distance travel with 50 laps to the distance, and a 16 set field of drivers ready to bring their A game and bring their speed to the table. Should be an interesting one here today. It's time to take a look at our starting lineup for today's action. On the pole, then the 51 will be Jesse Singleton. It is outside the 98. It is Kenneth Brown. Row number 2 will be the 4 Philip Willis. It is outside in the 48. Trevor Keith. Row number 3 is TJ Lear in the 85. Is outside in the big 31. Dominic Lee. Row number 4, Grant Turner in the 96. With his outside being Tyler Willard in the number 20. And row number 5, it's Matt Mingo in the 12. Is outside Noah Hentkel in the number 91. Row number 6 is Joe Tardiv, and the number 1 is outside in the big 38. That is Patrick Jenks. Row number 7, piloting it down, will be the number 26. Kelly Hyatt is outside in the 23. It's Anthony Emmerich. Final starters in row 8, Josh Previtt will pilot. The number 35 is outside in the 18. Sharon Slate. With that said, race fans, the field is now set to go. The action about to reel in and about to get cooking here on the Sonoma Desert Plains. The Sonoma Raceway is about to tick up and take some action shots here in place. Beautiful facility and a beautiful track, to say the least. Should make for an interesting little challenge for these drivers, as they know they are going to have a lot to work with and a lot to have to work around here on this very, very technical little track. A lot of places here you'll see a lot of guys kind of just trying to tempo and pace themselves throughout the corners. But more than likely what you'll see a lot of, more than anything today, is just speed and control, having to maneuver through some of these areas and some of these bankings. The This historic Cup track is no easy task to figure out as we take a look at our track tech talk presented by Speedmaster. The historic Cup does not have the carousel turn. Instead, it has that sharp 90-degree end turn down there that will really rocket yourself into greatness, or it will end up putting you into complete and utter failure. Yeah, best way to get around it, stick the turn, stick the corner, and then send it its way. And then, of course, that very tight final 2 turns, that will be where you'll see a lot of that action done up and a lot of guys really having some hurt feelings down there, to say the least. As the field rockets their way off of corner number 12 to the starting lineup we go. Position is key and position is filled. Green flag high in the air. It's time to go racing at Sonoma. And this is going to be the challengingest turn for them right out of the gates. Make sure they don't over throttle, don't overcorrect, and stay very close to the heart here. All drivers nice and stable through the first set of turns. A little trouble down there. Oh, Sharon Slade, the 18 is in the sand. Sharon Slade in the sand, going to get put back into the sand pits and have to get out of that sandbox there. Drivers coming right off the corners down to the carousel, down past to the sharp right-hand turn. 2 sharp right-hand turns actually coming up here as they'll swing it right into the mix. Through the pack and through the field, they have got a nice run coming through. Stephanie Parks saying, "Oh, Jesse," in the comments section, rooting on for her boy there. Good to have you on board today, Stephanie. Double air for Gelly Hyatt. Unfortunately, the number 26 also in the Exalta 26 machine has got a bit of a problem down there. Off pace and off tempo. We'll have to try to work around that later. No stage breaks in this one here. It is just green flag all the way through with a who's who of drivers trying to make or break their day, trying to get everything they can out of these trucks. Number 91, Noah Henkel. Right now I'm staying ahead of that 23. Anthony Emmerich here with the 20 of Tyler Willard right in behind, in front of him there. Dealing with them from behind, currently sloping their way through the turns. These heavy pieces of equipment here are extremely tough to handle, and they are very difficult to work around. But again, that's what makes these road course races so much fun. The additional threat of just trying to pass and figure out how to master the track. One thing I've learned from these road course races is that it's not a matter just to worrying about the drivers, it's worrying about hitting your marks on the track. That's the toughest part about this kind of race, this kind of ordeal. And you can just see how difficult it is right now for them to make a pass, much less trying not to get into one another and still aim on the track. And there is the pass. There is the number 91, and Noah Henkel taking over, and even Anthony Emmerich making a solid getaway here on the number 20. Tyler Willard losing a lot of positions down there, puts it close there with the 38 W machine of Patrick Jenks. Looks like the W Energy 38 gonna go right on side by side with him. Kenneth Brown, some problems down there, really big problems. He is stuck in the tires. And that's the first misshoot down in that turn down there, the paperclip turn as it's kind of known down from Martinsville, but that's not what they call it here. This is the shoot. This is one of the shoot turns you do not want to mess up on. Here's a look at the replay. Came in there way too hot, way too quick. Got it into the tires there and had to back out and get back in the throttle quickly, but it was not enough time. Lost a lot of ground on that one. That will slow down Kenneth Brown big time. What a tough break for him. Would have expected from that kind of a caliber of driver as well. That's the thing about these road courses. They challenge everybody that dares come into its front, come into its way. Looks like a little bit of trouble down there as well. I believe that's the 35, Josh Previtt. That is. He's got a bit of a problem there coming through the historic cup turn there. Couldn't quite get it lateraled around. You can see when the rear end wanted to kick out so much. Again, usually for these drivers, they're so used to staying in the throttle and keep their speeds up on the ovals. These road courses, though, it's a completely different story. This isn't a matter of trying to keep your RPMs up. This is a matter of just trying to make sure you keep that truck as straight as possible and make sure you can maneuver through the corners and maneuver through the turns with ease. It is so difficult to work around. It's so difficult to tame. A lot of drivers have said point blank that it can be just an absolute nightmare to deal with sometimes. Now down to the sector turns yet again here. Previtt right there with Joe Tardif again as they enter through corner number 12. Down through to the straightaway into third and 13. Previtt able to get around Tardif, and Previtt able to get Tardif to back off, allowing him to run it through, but now he's got to slam the brakes and get this thing turned. That's something you also see a lot of too, is the difference between brake and engine failure. The brake failure is the last thing you want to be thinking about here. And engine failure would be a stuck throttle here and not having any control of what's going on now. You can see right there, just that little throttle rhythm there that Willard just did. Almost got the truck completely lopsided and out of control. Too much to the point he couldn't be able to ride into it anymore. It's just showing you how difficult these drivers are working the throttle, working tempo and pace. It's a very tough little track to deal with. Tardif and Jenks having a good little battle there, but it's Jenks who is falling victim to Tardif's blocks there. Tardif going to try to keep him at bay and try to keep him on control here. They'll send it down the chute and in through to this, pretty much this 180-degree turn. Once again, showing its might, showing its will. And at this point, well, the timing obviously wasn't kind of obvious enough on the gap. I think we may have a race leader by a good margin. Jesse Singleton right now, almost a full 9 seconds ahead. We're not even past a tenth of the way there yet. And this guy has already just completely shut these drivers out and forgot who was even who. I don't know what he did or what deal he made, but he certainly has made this truck work at a full premium. I would have thought he made a deal with the devil the way he's driving this thing. He is not lifting as much as everyone else does, and he is just full sending this truck. His road course racing attributes actually not very high either. He doesn't have a high rating. But what he lacks there, he sure is using on this end of the track. Back to the cameras here in the middle of the pack right here. You can see a great battle ensuing right up ahead as you've got a little bit of a mix-up coming through the corner. Grant Turner, the 96. Opening the door for the 85 of TJ Lear to move ahead the chains, and now Noah Henkel trying to get right up ahead of him. The Shiraku Takamoto, number 96 machine of Grant Turner. For those that don't know, that is literally the design that came from a little franchise movie called Acceleracers. That's the only reason I absolutely know that name, know that truck, know everything about it. So yeah, I can say I could probably geek out a little bit here and there. The Teku 96 keeping his machine up and running there in that Chevrolet, while the Toyota Tundra behind him. Noah Henkel's trying to get around up ahead of him. Sharon Slade, more problems down there. Kenneth Brown, also problems. Both drivers going off track and off distance. And looking more and more like we could have some repeat offenders when it comes to the winner's circle checks, or maybe even have somebody get able to jump ahead enough. Philip Willis hoping Singleton makes a mistake, but that seemingly has not come anywhere near in fruition yet. Gonna dive in deep on the right side. Turner forcing the hand of Lear, but Lear able to backside him out. Did not give him an inch. Here comes Anthony Emmerich now into the fold. The AE number 23 Tundra right now looking to try to hustle back and hustle quick. Looking to get right up there to Noah Henkel as well as Grant Turner. And you can see everybody fighting hard. Oh, there he goes, though. And that's what we were worried about. Was Emmerich going to be able to hold that line in when that truck got up the top of the hill? Hit the RPMs up way too quickly, and then that cost him dearly. A tough break there for him. And even Josh Previtt makes a mistake. He gets it too hard in the corner. He sends it to the infield. I can't say he opened up his own lawn care service, because right there he just plowed it into some sand. So he's trying to dig himself out of the sandbox at least. Even Jake's having some troubles down there. Overshot his corner, has to serve a time penalty, gets it refired. Time penalty sealed. Oh, and TJ Leary with troubles. What the heck is going on? These drivers are so all over the place. They are having absolutely so much trouble in control of these corners and trying to keep the speeds at bay. I don't even think they know what they're doing at this point with the way these corners are handling them. See right here, RPM's up way too high. Rear end spins out from underneath them, and I used to say it's always worrying about how to control that right front from burning out. Now in this race, it's just worrying about keeping your rear end underneath you. Anthony Emmer going to look to come back and try to take him on now. TJ opening the door back to get him to the top 8 here. Absolutely chaos and madness here, to say the least, here from these drivers. And in the mix of it, we forgot all about our leaders, Jesse Singleton, and this man in the number 4, Philip Willis. Philip, right now, and it's Publix, number 4, Chevrolet Silverado, trying to hang in there with Singleton. You can see Singleton, though, got about a 13.5 plus lead gain. Way farther out than I think anybody was expecting, much as anyone was even going to think about. You can even see right up ahead, Singleton's already kind of muscling his way through the corners. He's already past turn 12 into 13. Willis is just now heading there. And funny thing is, Willis, again, he's 3.5 plus seconds ahead of Trevor Keith, which is your 3rd place runner right now. That's not really making much of a difference, and I'll tell you what's making a difference, though. A little bobble there from Turner. Once again, that final corner gives him trouble, slams the brakes, and the tires spin out again. Dominic Lee getting the roll 31 to charge ahead, gets a great jump through the corners and takes it nice under control. Young Dominic doing a great job sticking to his speed, sticking to his drive off, looking to continue the pace. He started in 6th. He's currently 5th. Nice running here from the number 31. Looks like some problems down there with Tyler Willard as well as Matt Mingo. Couldn't quite tell exactly what went wrong there or what went down. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the PTM Racing replay, though. See what happened here. Looks like 20 got a little too out of control, and Mingo slams into the side there. Unfortunately, nowhere to go for him. Oh, and there's even more trouble between these two. Oh, my. We just barely missed it. Trying to get back to the live camera. Here's a look at the replay. The 20 gets into the sand. Mingo goes for a run. Watch this. I'm not sure if that was intentional or if that was just a grounding rule, but Mingo is not too thrilled right now with Tyler Willard. And I don't think Willard is too pleased with himself for that one. I don't know. Let's see. Well, he was on the brakes, so we can't say that. He did come to a full stop, so I don't think he meant to get... the 12. I think it was just an unfortunate racing deal, as we always say here on PTM Racing TV. Well, they didn't say it was going to be for the fade hard, folks. These drivers knew when they were going into this race, they had one objective and one goal. That was just to keep their trucks in one piece and survive the race. Hard charge, hard corner, and hard racing. That is the name of the game. As I say that, another one bites the dust. TJ Lear has wrecked it out there off the corner. We're trying to get our cameras over there. You can see he has already slammed the wall, though. We caught that much. And the sad part is he started 5th when he qualified. And right now he has damaged his truck up so bad, I think he's... Oh, yeah, he's done. Yeah, this is not looking good for the 85. At peak performance, 85 machine has got a massive problem right now. And I think it's that rear end that's kicking out from underneath him. I gotta admit, too, the frustration probably has set it in on the 85. So I'd have to think that he is still not pleased, not thrilled, and doesn't really want anything else to do about it. Just wants to pretty much get this one kind of shipped up away. Joe Tardif right now, oh my word. Well, folks, right now, oh my goodness. Singleton, by the way, is your race leader. He about got taken there from Tardif. Tardif is going to go a lap down. That means Singleton's already lapped the top 10. We're not even 10 laps past this race. We just got past lap 11. Singleton has already just thrown this race out the window and thrown it on its head. It's not even halfway done. Willis right now, I give him credit where credit's due. He's trying to do something, but that Black Decker 51 is not giving anybody a chance, much less any room. Let's just go on board with him and figure out how he's doing this so good. Well, here's your first priorities. You heard him earlier on with the throttle rhythm. You see us cornering his control, the turns. But listen to that RPM rhythm. You see how smooth he gets it. He keeps at a nice stable pace. And then when he has to get it down, he shifts quickly. Watch this. Comes around that corner. Nice and tight. Nice and smooth, mind you. Pat can't overpower. Can't underdo it or overdo it. Keeps it under the limit. Tires still to the ground. Truck is in good condition. Uses the part of the road in the truck where he needs it to. Only lets the truck swipe out the slightest of minimum positions. Doesn't give it too much. And then here he goes. Right down to the corners. Down that long gated straightaway. Entering the chute. Here comes the turn. Solid. Now you'll hear him get back into second. He's already in second. He's going out of the third. Hammers the throttle hard. And there it is. Oh, and by the way, that last lap was a 121.84. His fastest was a 119.33. The fastest anybody had set close to him was a 120.96. Yeah, I don't think we need to figure out anymore what the heck is making Singleton so fast. I think we kind of got the idea now. My word. I think we put him up against Chase Elliott side by side in a race. I think we might have a little shootout here, boys. What do you guys think? I don't think we can throw him up against Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen, though. I don't think we can do that, though. I think we might have some troubles there. But I think it's pretty close and safe to say that we got some heavy hitters in these races. Young Dominic and Lee in the number 31 in the roll. In that roll 31 Ford F-150, the only Ford today right now keeping the Ford brand alive. He's put it into the set 96 of Grant Turner. Turner still hanging with him. Semi Park saying number 51. Yep, pretty much. That is a number, and that is the one they're all chasing after, but they're not getting him anytime soon unless he makes a mistake. But not saying it can't happen, but it's going to be a very tall order to do. Josh Previtt, despite the fact that he's already been lapped down and the fact that he's got damage on the truck, this cat just does not care. He will not give up. And remember, last time out, he won here on PTM Racing TV. He actually got the win in the Syracuse Crunch 35 Silverado. He won at Bristol Motor Speedway in this same truck. So to be able to literally take this thing and go top and start in the top 5 and have to go back into 10th is, to me, kind of shocking to say the least. You would not have expected that from him or any in his situation. And yet here he is, just absolutely cooking the truck and cooking the field in, trying to get this thing to go. Battle back here in the back here. Uh-oh, look out for the chute turn. Here we go into 12. And Brown, nicely done off the edge. Jenks giving away too much room, letting him by. And look at that rear end on that truck, just absolutely kick up. Look like a dragster by that drag strip here. He's got the rear end just completely smoked in. The front just barely staying to the ground. That rear end, when he came off that straightaway and before entering into the next gears, that thing was down to the track. My word. Ryan Dyer YouTube channel, W Energy number 38, Toyota Tundra. Patrick Jenks right now trying to get there to the 98 of Kenneth Brown. Brown currently holding him back. Although it was Jenks just a little while ago that was doing it to him, now he's trying to find a way to get back to him. The Gear Wrench 98 not letting him have very much room. You can see Kenneth doing a great job hitting his corners and hitting his spots right. Remember, he qualified second. And it wasn't for that little slip up, that little spin. He might be actually facing up against there with the number 51 of Singleton. Brown just set his fastest lap on the last lap there with a 121.83. So Jesse Singleton's times are a 122.84. Very big gap in distance. There might still be a chance. However, I would not hold my breath if I was at 98 right now. I'll tell you that. The gap just seems almost too strenuous, too hard to really come back from and really get too close to. And I think that's kind of what's frustrating him more and more as they go. Philip Willis here, 21 seconds back here of Singleton. Singleton just purifying and dominating this race from the get-go, and he did not even care. Noah Hankel in the 91 right now trying to get there to Philip Willis. You see him as well as Trevor Keith going off track there a little bit. Actually, that was Joe Tardif, excuse me, in the one that went off track. Trevor Keith coming up right on him. Tardif blocking a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for Keith to get around. Keith going to build up the speed though, see if he can get a pass or a corner off. Maybe something if he can even get to him. Up to the turn number 1, to the front straightaway through turn 2. This is the slight. This is slippery. This is the chicanes, but as I call it, it's the slippery slope of the sand pits. I know it's not the actual name, but I just like to call it that because that's what it feels like. Race fans, I tell you, I was in my truck earlier today here in my Crusader number 14. I put this thing out on the track and I tested it, and the first thing I thought was, how the heck is anybody going to be able to get the RPMs up to a decent little spot and keep speeds at a relatively good pace? This track is just so difficult to work around and deal with for that reason. I wasn't even sure they're going to really be able to do it, but mark my words and pardon my pardon, but they were able to. On board with that, 91 Skittles Toyota Tundra. Noah Hankel right now as he continues to rally up the troops and rally up the field here, trying to see if he can do what he can with this field here. Field now starting to separate out further as we go. Anyone just trying to hang in there or trying to keep the speeds up and awake and alive here are doing what they can do with it. Grant Turner right now gonna go right up ahead there with Anthony Emmerich catching up behind. The number 4, Philip Willis, currently in pit road here. He's gonna try to get himself a fresh set of tires and some fresh fuel in there. Needs some good years and a little bit of the oil in that pressure pump. And Emmerich, despite making a great comeback there, makes a huge little bobble there. Noah Henkel now in pit road here, so we'll see how he does here coming in and around town. We'll see what happens there. Very interesting strategy pits from these guys here. It looks like everybody's coming in at a certain time, a certain place. Just as Singleton continuing though to, shall we say, wreak havoc, I guess, on these guys? I don't even know. They always warned me when they go into these race road courses, they said, don't go running into Singleton on these races because he usually has a habit of dominating everything, and that's exactly what he's doing now. I wish I could have more to say, guys. I'm trying to find something to talk about else with him, but I mean, well, literally what you just saw right there is pretty much how the heck he's racing, how he's holding this thing down. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. Back Jenks in the oh, no, that could have been bad. Manages to hang on, though. Keeps the truck from getting too crazy. And so far today, I haven't seen him make one mistake in that corner. Everyone else has made one little hiccup or one little problem with that turn. Singleton hasn't done it once. He's been perfect. Every single time he gets around that corner and around that turn, he has had no troubles whatsoever. A lot of spike going into pit road a little later there. Henkel was actually able to jump right ahead of Philip Willis, and now looking at pit road times, both drivers are about equal. So Philip, bit of a gap. Shoot, now he's gonna have to figure out. About a 2.5 second gap between Henkel and Willis here, giving Henkel another chance to move up into the brackets. Dominic Lee has now entered into pit road. Let's see how he does here and how he fares when he gets in and out. Grant Turner, though, looking to take the spot away from him here. Sorry about that, folks. A little wrong button push on our end there. Grant hanging in there. Anthony Emmerich, much of the same. And you can hear again just how much power and rhythm they're given. But again, even then, it's still not nearly as much as what Singleton was doing and how he was hitting the corners. Turner, though, the fact that he's able to manage to get back into the top three, I think is quite impressive in its own right, considering he was, at worst, down in the top 10 bracket. Now he's back up in the third. He's 4 spots up from where he started. Started 7th today. Dominic Lee, Patrick Jenks right now separated out by about 4 seconds here. Jenks trying to catch up to Dominic and see what he can bring to the table. As I say that, guess who decided to walk in and intervene on the project? Yep, it's him again. Here's your best lap times, by the way, by all drivers set in this field. And, well, there really is no competition on who set the fastest, but we're just going to show you guys who is who and who is where, because this is really going to be a good selling of a tale here on how fast they have gone from versus how slow they have getting. The trucks are getting very, very ominous and difficult to work around. They know it too. That's why you see them really struggling to push the limits and push the boundaries of these trucks. And Singleton actually pushed himself into pit road. This will give an opening, if you can even call that, to the other drivers. The only reason I say call it an opening is because it just allows them to make sure they don't go a lap down here. It was the last time sure these drivers set before they had the pit roads opened up there. Singleton getting in there as quick as he could. And you can see too, again, those that went into pit road late, they had a little bit of time to breathe, a little bit of time to kind of work around. But it didn't stop anybody else from their situations. There you see the 51. He's trying to get it out of pit road right now. Gonna have the 18 of Sharon Slade out. Here comes Singleton out on the track. Slade gonna come up right behind him though in the Fury Toyota Tundra 18. We go on board here with the 18. The Black Decker 51 still 16.5 seconds ahead of the second place guy, which is Anthony Emmerich. And remember, Emmerich has not gotten into pit road yet either, so he's trying to strategize a full fuel run. He's going halfway of the distance before heading in, I believe. I think that's going to be his goal and game plan. Not a bad idea, but honestly, being 12 spots up, he's still got a lot of work to do with company coming from behind. Here comes Noah Henkel trying to catch him here. Trouble down there for Josh Previtt here. We'll take a look at the PTM instant replay. Looks like the 35 might have had a little slip and slide action down there. Let's take a look at it. Got around the number 26 of Kelly Hyatt there. Came off to the shoot turn and through the corner of turn 12. And you can see just overpowered the corner again. Tried to overpower the truck, and the truck wasn't having it. And that turn was not having it either with him. Well, in fact, they've been able to keep it clean, keep it green for the most part, barring that little issue we saw earlier with Matt Mingo and the 20 of Tyler Willard. It's been a pretty solid race here from all ends of the spectrum for that lone reason, so you gotta give them credit for that. The only downside, like I said, again, is just the fact of you got one guy completely tearing up these drivers and tearing this place a new one. And then the other guys right now just trying to figure out how to even get these things to stay on the ground on the track. That's one of the most difficult things I feel like as a driver you got to be facing and just thinking in the back of your mind like, man, what am I doing wrong? What do I do to stop doing this? Oh, man. Mingo again, troubles. And we had a camera there in the corner watching the Keystone corner number 12 come around. Well, let's take a look at it. Sharp end. You can see speed was way too hard. Try to back it through and get a tight exit. That didn't quite go according to plan. Previtt getting around him here and managing to jump right up ahead. And now Singleton. Uh-oh, almost got himself loose there. Whoa, hold on there. Mingo gonna get out of the way for him. Singleton managing to snooker his way around and maneuver in. Sorry for the jump cut there. We had to try to get this technical difficulty screen fixed up. Battle back here now in the 6th spot. Here comes Trevor Keith and Dominic Lee going at it. Anthony Emmerich going to be in pit road, by the way, so that will open up the top 5. Trevor Keith and Lee going at it here. Lee and Keith moving the chains, blocked up and pinched up into a bind. Dominic earlier on doing a great job sticking with the speed, sticking with the pace, but now Trevor Keith trying to get some momentum towards his way. It's hard enough just trying to fight that rear end in the back with your foot on the right foot pedal, but it's even more difficult when your front end wants to get so loose on you, you couldn't even control the truck. That's what the problem is. These guys, again, is when you hit that rear end lifting up like that, it pretty much turns into a dragster where you have no control of that front end. Oh my! And Trevor Keith probably thinking he's the luckiest man alive right now after that one. Dominic slamming into the wall protection. The motor is gone. He's going to try to limp into pit road as fast as he can here, but that 31 it's done for. If he does not get that thing fixed immediately here, what a huge hit. We had the blimp cam up and around there. Let's take a look at it. Watch this hit. Carried a lot of momentum, but once he got the RPMs back up and hits that corner, he actually hit the turtles just a little too wrong, slams the wall. Oh, oh, oh my. I don't know how the heck that he did not hit that 31, but my word, he did not hit him. Watch this. Around there, you see him just get a little too hard on the RPMs there from the turtle, and oh, hang on. Nice save. Extremely good driving there from the number 48. Unfortunately for Dominic Lee. Truck damaged badly there. He's going to get in a pit road, see if he can get an instant repair. He does. So now he's going to park her out of there and get back to the track, and he's going to try to hunt him down some drivers. Trevor Keithco just going to kind of go his way, go his style here. Anthony Emmerich and Grant Turner battling hard after it right here. 25 laps. We are halfway done. Race fans, when we come back, we're halfway done with this race. But no one has been able to even give a shot or even get a shot from the 51. Do they have anything for him or this race? Find out when we return. Today's race here at Sonoma, California, Sonoma Raceway is presented in part by our friends at Speedmaster, the fastest of RC radio control boats. There is only one brand name that has been able to stand the test and win out the world record. Speedmaster is that company. Be sure to visit them up today at Speedmaster. We are going to march their way through traffic right now. The number 91 Noah Henkel right now parking it right behind Dominic Lee in the 31. Dominic again having to go into pit road earlier on, cost himself a lot of time, a lot of troubles here. As you can see, even just a little bit of a little push off here from the 26 of Kelly Hyatt. He's trying to hang in there. Yeah, Exalta Pepsi Cola 26 machine started back in 13th, qualified. And you can see him right there now. This is just not his day, unfortunately. More troubles for him and his team as the 4 of Philip Willis will go right around him. Willis at highest right now was second. At the lowest, actually was top 5, I believe. The fact that he's been able to keep this march, keep this charge, and really stay under control with the truck just shows that he is not giving an inch to anybody down there, or anyone for that matter. And it looks like more troubles down there on our end. The number 18, Sharon Slate, coming in the same corner almost that Dominic Lee had troubles in. Let's take a look at this one here and see what happened to old Slate. Same execution, same floral here. Same parallels, and sends the 18 Fury Silverado around. You can see he's just waiting for the drivers to get going and make sure he was good to refire. You can see he couldn't even get a full-on little spin around there. The truck damaged badly. He knows he's in trouble. Kelly High getting out of the way there, letting Slate back on through. Slate ahead of him in terms of position and ground clearance. I don't really think it matters though in this case. At this point, it really just matters on who can finish who where. Whoa, trouble down there off the final corner yet again. Another one goes around, and it's the Gear Wrench 98 of Kenneth Brown once again. Caught it as he was going around there as we were just about to switch our cameras around the 98, and he's done. Brown is done. He's saying, I've had enough. He's done. He's going to park the 98. I'm not really sure why he would want to do it like that. If anything, this is going to cost him points and positions. I guess really this boils down to just anger, anguish, and fury right there. Knowing that he had such a good run and such a good drive when he qualified and when he was going through the season so far, but I guess sometimes you just can't handle the pressure anymore with these kind of races, and I guess I can't blame him. I've done the same, but it's just upsetting, unfortunately, that something this simple kind of lets someone get to that point. But hats off to Brown for at least sticking it out for as long as he did. Hopefully, he will be able to rejoin us here in the next week's race. Went from 8 laps to about 8 seconds back here, or 8 seconds to now an extra 8 seconds from Willis and Henkel here. Henkel actually able to get a good drive off and keep him behind, but he is still nowhere near Singleton. The time does not lie. Look at this. Oh my word. And 4/10 of the second game, that wasn't really much for Henkel actually, because again, you see what he's already got on his radar. He's already got he's almost got 5 seconds to have to figure out how to get back. Actually, come to think of it, I think that is just about 5 seconds actually. He's still way behind in terms of speed. He's already down quite a bit. Now he's been down 30 seconds here. If he can't get something faster, that's not going to do it for him. Yikes. "21 laps remain here on PTM Racing TV for the SRM Truck Series. And to those that tuned in today as well to watch the racing action and the chaos that ensues in these road course challenges, first off, thank you so much for tuning on in to the show. We love and appreciate you guys so much. We thank you for your support. We hope you enjoyed the show, and if you would like what you see and want to see more of it, do subscribe here on PTM Racing TV so you never miss a show and you never miss any of our live coverage. We always have 2 broadcasts going live right now with this stuff, as well as the Facebook end, which you can always go to by seeing us at PTM Racing TV. Just like and follow us up there, and we will always have the coverage and action there no matter what. But of course, YouTube will always have the coverage as well. So 2 places to go and 2 places to see whenever you want. That said, doesn't get any better than this. And more trouble down there for Dominic Lee yet again. Couldn't quite keep the truck out of the sand pits and out of the dunes there. It looked like he might have struggled to actually might have kept it under control and kept it in place there. Got some precious time. Kelly Hyatt going to go into pit road here as Turner will sneak right by him. But problem is, again, there's a guy by the name of Jesse Singleton right behind him that's really looking for the 6th spot in terms of lapping down drivers. He's not going to get 2nd place lap down, but I mean, we can all say, I think we can all agree right now that this is just remarkably insane, as it is just incredibly difficult to figure out how somebody was able to come back from that and be able to get them down like this. We have seen remarkable performances here on PTM Racing TV before. We've seen drivers literally on ovals lead every single lap. We've seen road course winners that have led every single lap. Didn't matter what lap, didn't matter what time or place, they never were passed in terms of even pit road strategies. We may get another treat of that one today. And another driver in turn number 12 getting spun around there, and it looks like that might be the one of Joe Tardif, and it was indeed. Another look at it. Slam the brakes hard there. And this is already a bad sign. You're steering that quick in the turn and you're trying to get back on the throttle quickly. It's alright with a road course car, but it's not okay with a Gander Outdoor Truck Series truck. No way, Jose. That is not going to work, sir. Field starting to dissipate out, spread out just a little bit. Josh Previtt here hard on the gas. Patrick Jenks getting into the sandy pits there just a little bit. Lost a lot of time as it looks like he's going to go for pit road. He'll head down in there with Previtt now taking over his position into the 7th slot. 8th slot, excuse me, 7 up there for Previtt. Rack opens the 7 up and takes 7 spots ahead of the field from his qualifying position. A good showing here from Previtt again. Now considering how many times he's spun, he's almost lost it and completely wrecked out. He's made an impressive comeback here. And oh, hold on a minute. There is some massive damage on that 48. Trevor Keith, he's got major problems in that JDM 48. I don't know if the meatball flag will be coming out for him on that one, but he better be careful here. Let's take a look at the PTM replay. Oh yeah, he clutched it in wrong spot, wrong time, and he slams that wall and slammed that tire. That tire set did not give an inch. I do not think it would have gave him an inch to begin with. One more look at it. Well, actually, you can hear it right there. He clutched it all the way in, and then once he tried to clutch back out, that was a mistake in its own right. That's what cost him dearly. Just can't do that in that kind of situation, that type of predicament. Will not last very long. It will not do you very good either. Previtt now moving into the 7th spot. He goes 8 up as he gets around Dominic Lee. Dominic Lee not able to stick with him. 17 laps remain, and the 51 Singleton has got from top 10 on back a 3 plus second lead. Actually, I take that back. That's not a 3 second. That's not a 3 second. That's 3 minutes. Excuse me. A 3-minute lead, I should say. That's 3 minutes, guys. That's, yeah, 3 minutes. Count it. 1, 2, 3. That is ridiculous. I think when he gets in, I think when we gotta talk with him, I think we need to ask him, like, did he put any turbochargers on those on that thing? Because I don't know how the heck he can keep this thing online, keep that thing still grooving the way he is. He's gotten loose quite a few times. We've seen him just kick it out a little bit, so he's not immune to getting loose. He's immune to just not overdriving. He's hitting his marks, hitting his spots extremely well. He's not letting anything or anyone breathe, much less think about anything else. Patrick Jenks even now problems down there. He had some little spin around there in turn number 12. Manages to refire and restructure, but he'll slow down again as he lets Trevor Keith on by. Keith has already lapped him down in the top 9, so despite the damage on that front end of the nose of the Keith, he's actually able to still keep a good amount of speed and amount of pace here. Pretty darn impressive here, if you ask me. Philip Willis here, 11 seconds back, trying to get up there as well. You can see Keith, he's just jamming that throttle, trying to keep it online and not lose it. Truck wants to tell him otherwise, but he's yelling at that thing to stay in control. Jenks just watching on more and more as his season's been one full of highs and lows. Had quite a few podiums and had a top 10 to his name, but bracketly and position-wise, it's been a very tough little shot in the dark for him. More problems down there for Kelly Hyatt, unfortunately. The number 26, more problem in the area there, and a bump and tag there between Keith and Jenks. Okay, what did I say earlier about not catching second? I'll just let this camera be the judge for you. Yeah. 14 laps left to go. I mean, now there might actually be a chance. Henkel, you're the only hope now. Back to Jenks is slowing down though a little bit of Singleton. Singleton is getting kind of back down just a little bit. Jenks trying to figure out what's going to happen next or what can he do even. Uh-oh, Singleton though, really loose. Caught a huge save there. Almost lost it completely in the turn. Tires maybe slightly fading away on him. He needs to be careful here. At this point, if I was Singleton right now, I wouldn't be trying to go too much harder. I'd be just kind of letting it drive and just let the truck be its own little position point. The best thing he can do for him and himself right now is really just stay out of, just stay in the range, to stay in control of his own destiny, which is just stay smooth and stay clean. Trying to overpower the track and the truck at this point would be a very bad idea. He's already gotten past Trevor Keith. There's only one driver left on that roster that he's got left to take on. If he wants to lap the entire field, he needs to get to this guy right here, the 91, who is 8 spots up from 10th, started 10th, goes to 2nd. He's the only one that's not a lap down, by the way. Also, real quick in the YouTube chat here, guys, ignore spam as well. Believe us, we know it. If you can't report it for us too, it actually helps us out. Believe us, we get annoyed with it too. Well, Henkel is going to pit road. Henkel is in pit road. Will we see the unthinkable? There are 16 drivers in this field. I think the most we ever had that was put a lap down in the entire race was 18 or 19, I think. I'm going to take a wild guess in the dark, but I think we may have that record pretty close to broken here. Through the distance, through the corners. Henkel's back on the track, but Singleton's right on his tail. Jenks in the way of Singleton here. Singleton driving a little bit harder in the corners there than he was earlier. Had to back off just a slight hair though with Jenks. Jenks currently blocking him a little. Don't think it's by any means intentional. Jenks though, he's not giving him much room. He's not letting him have any chance to get around him. Singleton is probably not too happy right now with that 38 because he's blocking him pretty good here, making it very difficult to pass. To be honest, I'm not sure why Jenks is running as hard as he is and where he is at right now. Remember, he is currently in the top 10. He's two full minutes ahead of Joe Tardif, your 10th place guy, and he's blocking the leader, Jesse Singleton, who I think is getting behind about enough. Almost takes that corner off of the 38. He was driving in extremely hard, almost took it completely by storm there. I mean, for Henkel, I think he's probably got to be breathing a sigh of relief knowing that Singleton can't catch him, but at the same time, I'm still kind of questioning. Well, from this point of view, why is Jenks running as hard as he is to the race leader? Considering how far he is ahead, I would have presumed he probably wants to just kind of keep a nice even flow, a nice even pace, and worry about everyone else in front of him, trying to catch them, not worry about what's behind him. And Singleton, right now, his problem is he's got to try to worry about not losing too much distance, too much ground, at the same time keeping control of this race. Jenks going way wide in the corner. Singleton finally getting around him there and now has a chance. Throttle sounds a bit off there on that roll 31. Dominic Lee way out of contention and way out of control here. No speed left there. Not sure really he has anything left to begin with, but I mean, hey, try it anyway. Anthony Emmerich moving in the 6th spot. Singleton goes into pit road, so now that'll be his last pit stop of the day. Josh Previtt, the 35 right now, staying in contention there with the number 96, Grant Turner. Every driver for themselves right now. Previtt going head to head here with Grant Turner. This is for your battle for 4th. Great little corner off here. Previtt making an impressive and unprecedented comeback, to say the least here. Buckling down, buckling through, neither one giving an inch. Turner trying to keep Previtt from taking that spot over. Previtt looking to get ahead of him and get a little bit of redemption from this entire race he's been dealing with. Turner starting to get about a 3-second lead off on him there. Problems down there for Kelly Hyatt at the 26. Dead stopping again. Singleton getting on by. Turner muscling around. Previtt also got a muscle through. Noah Hankel right now 30 seconds back of Singleton, currently trying desperately to get some speed and momentum going. Philip Willis pretty much kind of qualifying right where he's at the moment here too. He got a top, started third, he is currently third. So a good showing from his efforts and his end here to be able to do this here today. Broken Gaming coming on board here. Broken, great to have you on board today. Appreciate you tuning on in, although I don't know what the on/star means there. Back him off in the distance now. Turner losing some time to Previtt. Previtt trying to get back to him. Philip Willis 25 seconds ahead of Turner. Really hasn't anything to worry about there. Anthony Emmerich, the last, the remaining guys have a chance to even get in the top 5 if he can get some speed going. But being in the 8th position, but being in 6th position with about a 14-second gap, separating them out here by a good margin of error. I think that might be a little bit more difficult and easier said than done to figure out here. Credit where credit's due to everybody, and really in this final bracket, they have done what they can. Jesse Singleton looking to finish this one out on a high note. Currently now back behind lap traffic again. Trevor Keith in number 48 being a little bit of a thorn for him here. Has to figure out how to get around him. The pace and the plot thickens again. 6 laps to go. Moving to the distance here. Keith being passed around. Coming up, here we go. Final 5, final top 5 laps. 5 laps to go. Well, for 3 drivers anyway. Henkel and Willis. Those are the only ones on the lead lap right now. I take that back actually. Grant Turner, Josh Previtt as well. Actually, yeah, it's just Willis and Henkel. Excuse me. Turner is a lap down. I'm sorry about that, Turner. Or Previtt. Didn't mean to throw you guys under the bus there. Just kind of keeping up the distance, keeping to the corners here. Really, there's nothing much left they can do at this point. At this point, they're just trying to finish this race out as high of a note as they can. Oh, trouble there right through the back stretch here for Josh Previtt. The 35 slamming into the wall protection down there. And nowhere to go. A huge hit in the wall, nowhere to go, unfortunately, and big problems to say the least. You see just the damage and the toll these drivers have been taken through and what they have been served up today. There is absolutely no survivors today when it comes to anyone being able to keep these things in one piece. Everyone has had a run-in of some kind or somewhere in between. Willis now has even been passed up. Your third place guy getting ahead. And now Singleton, more troubles down there. That's the first time we have seen him finally being taken for a ride off turn 12. It's the only mistake we have seen him make. Now he's got to find his way to rustle around Jenks. Jenks losing in the corner. Field just trying to hang in there and get this one into the books. We're going to be 2 laps to go. This going around. Swinging it right through, a little bit of a drift off, no trouble. Here we go, folks. 2 laps remain here at Sonoma. Field in a clash of plan, clash of words, clash of ideals and thoughts here. Everybody has been put to their limits and put to their ends. Rolling him through to the corners and to the turns. Straight down to the final sectors and the final turns. Jesse Singleton has without a doubt been the guy everybody was chasing after this entire day. Well, now he's only got 1 lap left to deal with. White flag high in the air. Final lap engaged. Noah Hanko right now to the Skittles 91, just going to give this thing a finish and a run off here. Josh Previtt had a chance to get there to Grant Turner earlier. Has nothing left to give. The truck too damaged and badly hurt, but a top 5. Going to be extremely impressive considering everything here, to say the least. Phillip was holding up his own throughout the race. Never laid a beat. Patrick Jenks may have been all over the place, but he was able to hang on long enough at least. Trevor Key doing a great job as well earlier on, but unfortunately that one little hiccup there and that one in the final corners cost him dearly. Which sets us up to this final drive off to the final set of corners. The number 51 Toyota Tundra, Jesse Singleton, can bring the Black Decker Tundra back into its place, back into the spotlight. Little showboating, showing off. The 51 wins it at Sonoma Raceway. Victory for him. I guess, really, was there any doubt? That was a very nasty drive in a good way for that 51. Never, ever lost the lead for the 50 laps the distance at Sonoma. That is pretty darn impressive. This will be interesting to hear from him in just a moment on this one. Giving the fans what they want while he's at it, just having a little fun with them. Race results now going to pop up on your screen here, presented by Speedmaster. Here is the results. One spot away from lapping the entire field, but managing to come away second. Noah Henkel hangs on for the lead lap. Philip Willis will go into a podium with a top three. Grant Turner goes fourth. Josh Previtt fifth. Anthony Emmerich sixth. Trevor Key seventh. Eighth to Patrick Jenks. Ninth to Dominic Lee. Joe Tardif goes 10th. Rounding out the top 10. Oh, and Previtt giving him a little love as a little showmanship down there, because why not? Time has come here, race fans. Let's talk with your top three drivers now. He joins me in your third place spot as he'll park it down in pit road. The number 4 Publix, number Chevrolet Silverado. Philip Willis joins me on, and Philip, yet again another podium for you, sir. But going a lap down, I don't think was part of the plan or the agenda there, was it?
Look, I'm just happy to finish this race. This is the longest race and the hardest race I've ever done in iRacing yet, because I'm not a road course racer. So for me to take a top 3 here, I'll take it and run with it.
Run with it, you did indeed, and I know you had a lot going on in that truck. I know it's like we kept telling everyone time and time again, this was an absolute wild finish and battle out from start to the get-go. So I got to ask you, really, what was there a corner or any turns here that gave you the most fits or troubles just to hang on in this place?
How many turns is in this place?
I think 13.
Yeah, that'd be all 13. Nah, congrats to the winner and second place. I was no competition for them. It was a battle for myself here just to try to keep the nose clean. I think I spun it a few times, but it is what it is. Like I said, this is by far one of the hardest tracks I've ever had to run. But appreciate the broadcast. Thanks to league sponsors. And if my family's watching, thanks for tuning in.
Philip, congratulations, man, on a third place finish. It was great to hear from you again, sir.
Y'all have a good night. Enjoyed it.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, Philip Willis. He'll come away here in second place, or third, excuse me, because second right now is actually coming to us now from his SRM team chat. Joining me now here, race fans, in the 91 Toyota Tundra, Noah Henkel, and besides our winner, you're the only one that was even able to stay on lead lap. And Noah, at times you were pushing, you were fighting to get some ground clearance. You actually had to go 8 spots up just to even stay in the running. How did it feel out there?
It felt good. Consistency was the main focus today, and I think I accomplished it. I really wasn't expecting a lot, but I will take second.
Take second indeed, and with a lot of performance and a lot of running here on this kind of cornering. I mean, I got to ask you, how difficult was it just to kind of keep this rear end underneath you and keeping the front tires just really locked to the ground here? Because it seems like more often than not, a lot of you guys were having troubles just not letting it go up with the curbs and a little bit airborne times.
Absolutely, especially getting off the corner. The thing wants to get real loose. I had about an hour's worth of practice and kind of got down the idea of just being real smooth off the corner and wasn't worried about being fast. I had my moments where I had a fast lap, but it wasn't anything to win. I'm just happy with what I had.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, as you walk away here on the lead lap and surviving Sonoma with the second place finish, does there anybody want to thank for this?
I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank Patrick for, it's only my second race. He was the one I had spoke to about joining. It's been fun so far, and I'm looking forward to the future.
For sure there. Noah, appreciate you coming on board. Congratulations on the second place finish, sir.
Thank you very much.
Noah Henkel, ladies and gentlemen, going to go second place today. But the man with the power, the man of the hour, you know him. The 51, Jesse Singleton, will win it here at Sonoma. And Singleton, I really don't even know what to tell you, man. You did all the talking with your truck and kind of a little showboating at the end, obviously. I don't blame you, but just what the heck do you have underneath this hood that you were able to use against these guys? I don't even know anymore.
I don't know. We just had a really fast race car here today. I mean, just hard work by the team. We were able to get a really fast race car. It was crazy.
I know you got some fans as well kind of rooting you on in the chat here as well. Did that kind of serve as a bit of motivation to make sure this truck was dialed in and make sure you just kind of to take everyone to the line here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, just for the team, everybody watching, man. It feels good to get back in victory lane here for the second time. Able to do burnouts this time. Didn't run out of fuel. So that's very nice. And just everybody watching, my girlfriend and everything. Do it for them. Do it for the fans.
You certainly did it all tonight. Anybody else want to thank before we head off for the night, Singleton?
Just our league sponsors, all the fans. Boss Tech, Speedmaster. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to be out here and do this.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Singleton, what a performance. Congratulations. Well deserved and earned for this win.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the race winner, Jesse Singleton, will bring it home to victory lane. With that said, race fans, thank you so much for tuning in today. We appreciate your support. We love you guys from the bottom of our hearts. It is time to sign off, but until then, see you next time when the green flag flies.